Hey everybody, this is Murph from server 943. Just going to hop on here today and make a quick video on the Season 3 profession tree and kind of where I would start out as an engineer. I might do one for war leader here soon, but for a majority of people there probably should and are going to be engineers in most cases, especially for the beginning of the season. So I'm going to kind of just run through what the profession tree should look like, how you should start it off to maximize leveling up your profession as fast as possible for season 3. I think for me right now, I am in day 18. So we just unlocked our Skylar's exclusive weapon. So yeah, we're just a little under 3 weeks in to season 3. So let me just kind of run through what the important skills are and how to be able to level up your profession as fast as possible. So on day 1, what I would do, guys, on this is for any season that you start, is that you need to go into your profession tree and just reset it. Get all your skill points back because you're going to definitely want to reallocate some things. So first things first, a lot of these guys haven't changed. If you're coming from season 2 and your professions are already going to be at level 70. If you're from season 1, then you've got some time that you have until you get here. But what you're going to want to start off with, guys, is the most important skill. So reset that bad boy. You can do that by hitting this little button down here in the bottom right corner. Use this profession skill reset book. I'm not going to do that. Or you can, if you were a war leader, you can actually use a profession reset book as well and swap over, and it does the same thing. So the very first thing, guys, the most important skills to have at the beginning of any season is going to be these green ones, right? So you're going to need these combat experiences. You're going to take those to 3 out of 3. The building inspiration, which is one of the most important. You're going to want 3 out of 3 that bad boy. Your double exchange, you're going to want to max that out. Those right there are going to be some of the most important ones. And then, of course, at the beginning of the season, I would maybe even recommend doing the siege inspiration. I did that, but I've taken it out since then, since we're pretty much done taking cities. But yeah, so these right here, these 4 are some of the most important. And I'll kind of hop into it, and I'll kind of hit some of the other ones on the right side as well. But any of the ones that are going to give you profession XP, that's going to be the ones that you're really going to want. After that, again, I can't really remember how many skill points you would start out with, but I think, of course, a no-brainer, of course, is always going to be rapid production, 5 out of 5. More stamina. I've ran out of stamina. I was the resistance guy this season. It's going to be super important that you have as much stamina as possible. So if you can get some free extra 25 stamina, take it. If you're an engineer and you're not siege mastery, I don't think I agree with taking this thing to 5 out of 5 really ever. I think the best part about this is having that bulldozer skill, and you only need to have 1 out of 5 there. So I would do maybe 1 out of 5 there. Next, for me, I'm kind of taking my season 3 in a little bit different path, but I'm doing a ton of research this season, not as much of building, but I did have the building up there until I got up to HQ 32. So maybe have those kind of maxed out at the beginning of the season, and once you unlock some more levels, maybe respec again and take them out. But for me, I'm doing a ton of research, so I have the free research in there. The double exchange is super important. You're going to use it mainly at the beginning to change mithril into sacred water. And then after you get your resistance center up to level 30, then you're going to probably be doing it opposite. You're going to be changing some sacred water into mithril. And you can do that daily, it looks like, I think, right? Or every 2 days. Double exchange every 2 days. So then after that, these are no-brainers. The build now and the research now. Those are just no-brainers. You need those, even if you're not doing a ton of building like I am. The building still helps for the few buildings I am upgrading. Now, the first one here, I do like this right here. Again, if you're not a fighter, you don't need this one. But I was in the mud a lot, and I ran out of teleports in the. Even though I saved up a bunch of teleports from the end of season 2 to the beginning of season 3, this is just nice that every 2 days, pretty much, you get 1 free contaminated land teleport, just to help out whenever you're going to attack these strongholds and these cities and so on, mainly the strongholds. So it's just nice that, especially if you're in a time where you can't really get attacked, it's no big deal popping in the mud, unless someone in your alliance, someone in your server is going to hit you, but they can hit you without being in the mud or not. Next, for level 20, Never really been a huge fan of this rally rush one. It's not as important, I feel like. Joining or returning from rallies, I guess that's cool, but it's not that important. The siege banner, I honestly kind of used to be kind of against this, but with the skill I'll show you up at the top, I think it is worth it now. But you know, if you don't have that other skill up top unlocked, then I wouldn't even worry about this one. You can save that skill point. Next, we have the double conversion. This right here is good. This just helps be able to help get your battle pass and help be able to convert some of your allies' protectors faster. So I think if you don't have this, if you send your little scout plane out, you only convert 5 at a time. If you have this, you convert 10. It's not something that's needed, but you know, it doesn't cost anything to send out your scout planes, but it is nice to be able to do it faster. Level 25, super important here. The Profession Insights, you should have this thing 5 out of 5. Use it every single chance that you can get. This is great. I mean, it's every day you get 10% of your current levels Profession XP up to a maximum of 100,000. So that's me. I'm maxed out. So I just get the 100,000 every single day. So that's really nice. And kind of as I mentioned, the Siege Inspiration, I think that it is great to use at the beginning of the beginning of the season. So this paired with this one down here, it's going to give you some nice little XP boost. But for me, I just didn't see enough like XP increase really from this as I would have like the building or even some of the zombies, because you're killing so many zombies. After that, level 30, of course, the co-op research and construction's no brainer. The sand protection here, I don't really see anything here yet. We haven't gotten to the part of the season where we are defending, you know, from other servers yet. So I might change this later on in the season, but to start the season, I don't think that you need it. Level 35, no brainer. You need both of these resource savings and recycling. That's one of the biggest benefits of being an engineer. Double greenification, it is cool. It helps, I guess, a little bit. I'm not the guy that's out there spending stamina. I don't have stamina to spend on greenifying the cities after you take them. You can only use it on cities that you take. So again, it's not needed at the beginning because you can't take cities for like a week or so. So it's not something that you need to use right away. Now, for some people, I don't have level 40s. I'm not a buddy shield guy. I'm not usually shielded in most cases, but you know, for some people, you are like have a little bit not as of an active alliance as we do. That might be great for you guys, or you know, it's good for even active alliances for people that still sometimes forget how to forget to shield, and you can shield them up for at least like the first few hours of Buster Day or whatever it might be. Medical aid, I don't usually actually personally buy this myself or put points into it because I usually have one of my other people give this to me, so there's no point in me wasting the points in it. This fragile spell that says when desert protectors defeat an enemy base, they reduce the target's base's max durability up to 1,000, up to 5,000. I just don't see the need for that. And same thing with the shrinking spell. Again, for the people that are further in the game than I am, if you guys have a tactic on using the shrinking spell, I've seen it where it makes their base smaller. I mean, maybe besides like being able to like fit someone else into an area to be able to squeeze more bases in there. I mean, maybe that's a tactic, but I just don't see that as, you know, for me, if I'm attacking somebody a couple times and shrinking their base, I'm just going to ash them and get them out of there. So I don't know how useful that really is there. For 45, though, the drone supply. This is for sure. You need this. This gives you, 3 green boxes, 3 drone components, and 3 something else. I can't remember what the other one is, but it's much needed for sure. I would take this every single day. I love the use of being able to use it every day. Level 50. Some people like the visitors. I'm not a big visitor guy. Like, I think that it's cool, but it's just don't think it's worth the 5 skill points at this point. Maybe later on, when I have a bunch more skill points, maybe that's something that I might use, but no. Durability mine, again, I think it's useless. This one right here I did actually have filled out for a while, but for me, it's only 100 protectors, and like that's not even enough to start a rally, and you can only get that every 3 days. So I just don't think that using 3 skill points on just getting 100 protectors at the max level is worth it. So do with that as you please. Level 55, there's some there's some wiggle room here for sure. I think to start the season, you do not need the Sandstorm, but when we are actually about to start attacking, we are doing trade posts and stuff now. This is nice. This right here is actually dropping a little Sandstorm that lasts 10 minutes within a 9x9 range. And that means that the base troop's march speed is reduced by 20%. And you can only use it once every 2 days, so just make sure that you're using it wisely. And this effect cannot stack, but this is something like, if you're coming out of Season 2, imagine being able to slow down march speeds around the furnace by 20%, giving your team more time to fill up the furnace, before some of their bigs are able to hit it and knock more of you guys out. But I think it does actually affect all march speed, not just your enemies, so it does affect yourself as well. Now 55, I do think support boost. I think this is worth it. Getting up to level 5, any type of help increases, I think, is really important to help speed up a lot of the things that you guys are doing with all the new buildings and so on and so forth. So I think that's worth it a little bit, depending on just kind of your play style. For one more, I think this one's good. I used this one for a while, but for me, it's just I don't get much out of these. This right here gives you the chance to double your rewards from your daily task, which is just these guys. So you're able to, like, sometimes it's nice if it doubles your drone parts for you. That's cool. But really, the only time I ever really saw it was it giving me like 2 flowers and 2 blue deco chests, which the drone part of it would be worth it, but it's just not guaranteed. So it's better than nothing. But I think that there's better uses for 5 skill points personally. And the next place I would really put them would be into number 60 here in the first aid expert. It said when defeated, the proportion entering the emergency center is up 5%. So instead of losing 5% more of your troops while your emergency center still has some space, you're able to, whenever you have people dying, 5% more of them than they were or going into the emergency center, which is nice. Just saving a little bit of resources there. Master Builder, again, I think for most people, especially to start the season, you should for sure have that bad boy maxed out. I have almost all my buildings, or I'm working now on the altar. I have it at level 25. It's just not worth it because I'm not doing any other building upgrades right now, but that's just specifically for me. I do think this is a very great skill, and I would recommend, especially at the beginning of the season, have this thing maxed out. And if you're going to be pushing HQ like crazy, like we have people in my alliance that are already at 34, there's a lot of us at 30, a lot of us are at 32, some of us are at 33. But for me, I'm focusing on tech this season, to be honest. I might reallocate some of these later on in the season once I'm done with a lot of my majority of my tech research. Battlefield cleanup, I think this right here can be good if you use this in conjunction with Monica. Doing some Doom Elites, if they could get you a lot of resources at the beginning of the season, if you want. But again, you're fighting these bosses, like these zombies, and you're trying to beat them. So you're not really going to be able to use Monica in these cases. But it could be nice that even without Monica, it's going to give you more resources for killing all those zombies that you're beating, kind of to start off with. So, but again, after we kill your first, you get your zombie kills up to level 59, 60, you're not really attacking those guys anymore. So oh, sorry, I forgot this one. The landmine. I do like this one. I can show you guys what this does. I think it's kind of fun, honestly. I think this is kind of just something that's different, but you can deploy a trap to catch these sandworms. So let me show you kind of what that is. Hopefully I have some uses here. I think I do, right? Yeah, I got 2. So let's see here. I'll show you guys how to use the landmine. It's kind of fun. You can just lay them around randomly if you want, like around your hive, and especially to start the season when you guys are doing all the rallies and stuff. It is going to be helpful. But all you gotta do is start just kind of look on the map for these moving little skull bosses here. So this is one of the worms, and I think the most effective way to get a big worm is you kind of go here and you hit use, and you kind of want to use it as soon as it changes direction, I guess, is the better chance to get a giant worm. So it just changed directions. Now I'm gonna drop it. Still got a scarab, so that's whack. Maybe I'll try it one more time. Just drop it on this guy up here. He just changed direction, but I didn't drop it. Bam. There I caught a little small sandworm. But ideally you want to try to get the giant and the large and the giant sandworms. But that's fun. You can get those little boxes. I think you can get like 20 of those boxes a day or so. There is different spawn rates on the small, I think, large, and giant sandworm boxes that you can get. So they're not all the same. But that one's fun. I just think that's kind of like fishing or something. After that, where we're at right here. So level 70 has some good ones. I do like this Indomitable Will. The protectors are a little harder to get. I mean, not hard to get. You have to lose troops against those zombies or other players or whatever it might be to get to convert them into protectors. And so whenever you're using your protectors, you actually get 10% of them back. So I think right now I'm using like 290 or something like that to attack with, so that I get like 29 or 30 back. I'll take it. So I don't have to die, have as many troops die. This monster tracking I think is completely useless. Now this instant gathering one, I think this is super useful. I'm just not like, I don't have a resource problem really right now. And I think it's really useful for the first day of the week of VS. And the way that I would use this is you send out your gatherers before reset, of course, to kind of expire right before reset. And then you collect all of those gatherers normally. And then you can send your squads out one more time, like right at reset, to hit tiles again. And you can use instant gatherer to bring them right back in. But once you have it to 5 out of 5, it has a 23.5 hour cooldown. So that means you can use it again technically on radar on like drone day, and right before reset again, you can actually send out your collectors that are out gathering and do the same thing again at insta gather. So you can actually use this like twice a day during drone day, which is really nice to get you some good points. So I think it gets you like around like maybe like a million, maybe a couple million points, something like that. So that's nice. Level 75. The win-win cooperation is going to be huge, especially if you guys have some whales in your alliance or people that are war leaders, because this is actually going to give them, you can use it once a day, and it says it can only be used on a war leader, and it reduces their research and construction cost by 5% for 24 hours. And then you also get some rewards as well. So when you use this, you get like some like little blue like resource chest and some stuff like that. And you can only use it on war leader. So we use that on our whales. We kind of have like designated people for each person because it doesn't stack. But this right here is the ability to give war leaders pretty much the resource savings here and the recycling savings there, so that they can still get the benefit while also be able to use the war leader tree. And then again, same thing for the free teleports. I like having the teleports. You guys, if you guys are at the end of season 2 or looking forward to season 3, save all of your teleports. I mean, I had coming into season 3, and I was the resistance guy. I mean, I think I had like 30 advanced teleports and like 40 alliance teleports, and the random teleports are cool, but they don't really help you do anything. But with the beginning of the season, but I used all of those like in the first like 3 or 4 days. So save up your teleports, and this right here is going to be it's a good skill to use, that you just kind of get the 3 free advanced teleports, and they build up after time. But I save all those for my fighting days. Now for the explosive enhancement, the Desert Protector's death shockwave ratio is increased. I mean, this is cool. I'm starting to get hit with protectors and stuff like that during trade post battles and stuff. But the only thing that's really annoying is that your base is on fire and you can't really put it out, and it might kill more of your troops. But again, like, I don't think that it matters enough to get 3 skill points to help kill other people's troops. I think it's a little useless, but level 80 gets exciting. You get 5 more helps here, which is huge. This is for sure one of the most important skills that you can use in this profession tree. And then I like this one right here a lot. I think this is for me, because I only send out slays every single day. But this is, once you get this to 5 out of 5, it increases the amount of iron, food, and coin carried by the trucks. This might be a little bit of a wasted skill for me. I could probably get better return if I did the instant gathering, but this is just something I don't have to think about. I always forget to send out my gatherers every day to use instant gathering and stuff like that. But I think these are both really, really great skills. This one here, I see my people in my alliance use them. You're able to deploy a sandworm trap in your home war zone. The target will get entangled by a sandworm. That just means that you can set these traps on people to when they're coming in to take your city or take your trade post or whatever it might be, they get caught up and they can't start attacking. They can't start set rallies or anything like that until they're out of their and they can't port, I don't think. So they can probably get Ash pretty easily if this works good. But I just haven't used it yet myself. But I think that this right here actually is probably a pretty good skill to use. I have some extra skill points. I might put one into that and use it this weekend. Now, level 85 is where we start getting a little crazy. This emergency capacity, I think this is huge, adding 250 capacity limit to your emergency center. I think that's totally worth it. Just again, you're just able to save some of your troops because you're going to be losing so many guys. I was out of troops, like doing all the strongholds and fighting all the Doom elites and the zombies and things like that. I was just so out. So just have a little bit extra that I can pull from is nice, especially like on fighting days. I think that's a for sure need. Speed up box. I just need speed. That's kind of my main bottleneck. So I'm for sure just using this right here. It gives you kind of 5 random speed ups items. For me, I usually get like 4 or 5 different types of speed ups, and it gives you a few hours of speed ups for each, which is nice. Now, the most important one probably on 85, honestly, is this trade discount. So this right here is just enjoy extra discounts when purchasing from trade post. So kind of what that looks like is I can go to my trade post here. I'll just actually go. Let's do this. Mine's in 962, and what it does is just kind of discounts those rates. So it's nice to, instead of having to pay the 1,000, I can just pay 700 and give me some more other speed ups and jazz like that. So it's just nice to be able to save a little bit of diamonds on these trade posts, especially if you're gonna be buying from a lot. Buy some more. But anyways, back to the skills. Of course, I'm not in the next level, but I'm getting pretty close. I'm at like almost level 89. I'm at 88 and a half here. But the best skills that I'm foreseeing that I'm going to be using above these, and from what I've seen, is going to be this enhanced siege banner. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So now that siege banner down here at the bottom, you have to have this unlocked to be able to unlock the skill that I'm talking about now. But now it doesn't just do the durability. It's also going to give you an additional 10% rally and march speed. So this is going to be really important for those season battles and things like that, Spice Wars, all that jazz. It's going to be really important. Also, it could also help out with, if you're doing trade post rallies and stuff like that. I think this is where I can start seeing the value here. It kind of mimics a little bit more of the one I think that's in the war leader tree. But then I think this one right here is not as important. I think it's kind of wasteful. But the summon mummies, I haven't actually seen this in use yet. But what you're able to do is says target an unshielded enemy commander to summon a mummy boss near your base. The boss will march to attack the target for 30 minutes. The cooldown is about 3 days. So from what I've seen here, guys, is that, and from what I've heard, and people maybe you can verify in the comments, is that when you use this on somebody, of course, I don't think that they can shield, but then I think that if you're not shielded, these mummies will literally just kill all of your drill grounds. So this is something that we're thinking about maybe using either right before Buster or right before some Spice Wars or a trade post. And you can go do this on your enemy opponent, even on non-attack days, and help them lose all of their troops so they can't easily defend as well. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. I might even make a little short to see, kind of show you guys what this does. So kind of keep an eye out there. Now 95. Now we're getting into some serious heat. 95. This is going to be a no-brainer. I think this takes it all the way up to an additional 25%. So this is just a second version of your cooperative construction and research, cooperative research. So this is actually going to stack with the ones that you have. So now instead of having your regular position buffs like Secretary of Defense and Secretary of Science and construction or whatever development, and stacking that with the 20% of your research and construction co-op, now you're going to get that on top of another 45%. So it's the 25 plus the 20 from the ones down here below. which is huge. It's going to be just great. Any type of reduction in time is great. It means you're able to save more speed ups, and things are able to get done quicker. And then I think down here or up here at the top now, this one here I'm really excited for. This is called the One More Time. It says when using an active skill with a hexagon shaped icon, there is a 4% chance to skip cooldown. Each skill can trigger this effect only once per day. So multiply that times 5. So that means every time you use a hexagonal skill, which is like all of these skills here, how these are hexagon rather than some other ones are square. Anytime you use any of these skills, you have a 20% chance of when you use it that you get to use it for free, and then you can actually use it again. So not just one skill per day. It means every single skill that's hexagonal, you can trigger this ability. And so that means, for example, you come down here and you use rapid production, and then you get all your free resources, but then it triggers the One More Time. You can actually use it again, so you get double, but it doesn't affect your cooldown. And then after you use it, then you can just use it again tomorrow. Same kind of thing here is like, I can see it like with the professional insights. You use the professional insights here to boost up your XP level on your profession, and then you get to use it again because the One More Time triggered. Of course, it's not as important if I'm maxed out at level 100, but you can kind of see what I mean here. So for any of these, you'll be able to get to double dip in these drone supplies and double dip in, instant gathering. That could be huge. Double dipping with, the speed up boxes, all of those. Be able to double dip with your cooperative constructions and your research co-op. Be able to use that more than once a day. Especially this one right here, the Summon Mummies. If you're able to use this twice a day on 2 different bases, that's going to be huge. You can knock out 2 people's drill grounds rather than just 1. So I think that's huge. And then this blast one says use it on your base to activate War Fever mode, triggering a 60-second blast countdown. The blast will damage nearby 3 base tiles, reducing their durability by 25%. I mean, this could be useful for like hitting like the season buildings and things like that when we go start attacking alliance centers. I might test this one out. I'm a little hesitant. This right here reminds me a lot of the season 1 abilities with the infection of being able to kind of infect them with the disease and kind of porting them out. But we'll see how effective this one is. I haven't seen any uses of it on YouTube or any of the videos that I've kind of covered. But that's kind of where I am at with season 3 skills, guys. And of course, when you get close to being up at the top and you're kind of maxed out, then I would come back through here and take out all of these season XP skills and take those out and kind of replay. Like I'm going to take these guys out and I'll probably fill out this build for free and come back up here and filling out some of the other skills that I've chose to pass on for now. Because once you get to max level, it doesn't matter if you get any more XP. So please like, comment, subscribe, guys. It's free. It really helps my channel. And kind of make sure you share it with your Discord servers. If you have any other questions, just feel free to comment down in the comment section below. I try to respond to everybody, whether you're nice or mean. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you. This is Murph from server 943. I hope you guys have a good one. Shout out to my Alliance Center. We're looking to hit number 1 in the season this season. We have a pretty powerful squad, so we're looking forward to it. But have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.